All right, Shalom. There's a brother Nahalia from the GMS Orlando camp. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rokah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yasher Allah, and a sincere salutation to all Yuakim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwat who are believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. All right, I want to go into a lesson through the Spirit, because I was just meditating on Esau being let loose, Esau, Edom being the so-called white man. All right. His biblical nationality is Esau, Edom. All right. And the reputation that he has in the earth, as being a symbol of progress and a symbol of justice and morality, that's really a facade. Esau's true heritage is a heritage of wickedness. All right. Let's start with this. This is Malachi 1:4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. As a nation of people, that is Esau's actual legacy, his heritage. All right, his reputation, according to the scriptures, is being the territory of wickedness. In the world that we see around us today, the covering cast has given people the impression that Esau is a sign of civilization and morality and justice and, all of these things that are associated with Esau, which are really lies. All right. Things have been turned upside down in this society. So Esau's reputation and his legacy in this world is the idea of he's the beginning of civilization. This is why they teach us in history class that civilization started with the Greeks, which is the furthest thing from the truth. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding? And we live in a world where everything has been turned upside down. As the scriptures say, the rich sit in low place. Because in the kingdom of heaven, the reputation of Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans is not going to be the same reputation that we have in this society, where we're looked at as the bases of men, where we're the object of reproach and mockery. That is a punishment. That's why even when you deal with, matter of fact, I want to get it. This is Ezekiel 39, and I'm going to jump down to 23. And it reads, and the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me. Therefore hid I my face from them, and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword. Because the world believes Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, who are the children of Israel, are on the bottom because we have some kind of deficiency. We're genetically inferior. That was one of the arguments until it got debunked. All right. We're just natural criminals. All right. We're not smart. We're an uncivilized nation of people. In the kingdom of heaven, the world is going to find out that we went into captivity. We fell in these conditions because we forsook the Lord, because we disobeyed the Lord. Likewise, Esau, Edom's reputation in the kingdom of heaven is going to be that of wickedness. The memorial that Esau has left in this world is a memorial of wickedness. You see, right now, Esau controls the narrative, or he did at one point, which is why the world believed that Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, was the good guy. And now he's being exposed, all right, with the truth. It's beautiful through the spirit, because when Esau went around the world trying to convince all these other nations that Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans were just an ignorant, criminal-based nation of people, that was a lie. Whereas now Esau is being pointed out with the truth. Esau slandered our people with lies, but now the Lord is slandering him with the truth. And you wouldn't even call it slander, because it's the truth. It's the facts. Esau wrote in his history, the so-called white man wrote in his history what he did not only to our people, but to every nation he's encountered. That's why when all is said and done and the world is looking back on what Esau did when he was in rulership, his memorial is going to be that of wickedness. He's not going to be looked at as the hero in the movie. All right, this is Isaiah 25:7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people and the veil that is spread over all nations. And a part of that veil is things being turned upside down, whereas the basis of men is looked at as a prince. All right, it's Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 5. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, as an error which proceedeth from the ruler. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place. I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth. And the world don't look at Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans like princes. You know, we're looked at as servants. We're looked at as base men, like we belong in this condition. All right, this is Lamentations 4:1. How has the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold, how are they esteemed as earthen pitchers, the work of the hands of the potter? All right. So our reputation as a nation of people, we've been defamed. You know, the Lord gave us over to reproach. So we have to bear a common shame as a nation of people for being on the bottom because we forsook the Lord. Likewise, Esau has enjoyed this comfortable position of being looked at as the hero. You know, the world look at Esau as if he's Superman, and really he's Homelander. You know, on camera, he tries to play this role of being a good guy, but behind closed doors, he's a demon, and his actions speak louder than our words. And this is why the memorial he's going to leave behind when all is said and done is that of wickedness. All right. And that's why Esau's worst nightmare is the truth, because the truth exposes who he actually is, because you can't change history. That's why Esau is trying to reteach people, bringing in critical race theory to try to change the narrative of history, because his actual history is that of wickedness. What he did to become to get on top of all these nations was wicked. All right. This is Wisdom of Solomon 10. And I'm going to jump down to verse 7. You know what? I'll start at 6, because this is going into Sodom and Gomorrah. But I want to bring out a point through the spirit. All right. This is Wisdom of Solomon 10 and 6. When the ungodly perish, she delivered the righteous man who fled from the fire which fell down upon the 5 cities, of whose wickedness, even to this day, the waste land that smoketh is a testimony, and plants bearing fruit that never come to ripeness, and a standing pillar of salt is a monument of an unbelieving soul. For regarding not wisdom, they get not only this hurt, that they knew not the things which were good, but also left behind them to the world a memorial of their foolishness, that in the things wherein they offended, they could not so much as be hid. And just like Sodom and Gomorrah was left for a memorial, Babylon the Great, which is America, will never be inhabited again. All right. And it's going to be known that this is the memorial that Esau left behind. This is an example of what not to do in the earth. All right. That's why the daughter of Babylon figures prominently in the scriptures, because it's a place that will never be inhabited again. The ancient Babylon is still being inhabited, because ancient Babylon is in the Iraq region, the land of Iraq. That region there is where ancient Babylon presided in the ancient world. So that daughter of Babylon is talking about another place, and it will never be inhabited again. And that is a place or a kingdom that's going to be ruled by Esau, Edom. All right. According to Isaiah 63, the Lord will come back to a world ruled by Esau, Edom. And when Esau's taken down, the world is going to look at him for who he actually is, not for who he's pretended to be. All right. This is Isaiah 14 and 4. And it reads that thou shalt take up this. You know what? Let's start up. Let's start at 3. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. And even now, Esau is being known in reputation as an oppressor. He's trying to demonize it, by saying that's racist, critical race theory. He's trying to basically write out the history of what he did to become who he is today. Because he ruled with great oppression. And the world knows this. This is the elephant in the room. But nobody can speak against him because he's in control of the resources. So everybody's afraid to speak against Esau, Edom. But in the kingdom of heaven, he's not going to have power over people anymore. So the world is going to be able to look at him for who he actually is. All right. Matter of fact, this is Isaiah 14:15. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? And that is Esau's reputation. And this is why that narrative is starting to grow in the earth. It's the truth, and it's starting to grow in the earth. This is why Esau's going to have to come down with great wrath, because he's losing that narrative. He worked hard to push this narrative that he was the symbol of civilization and that anywhere he went, he was bringing progress. But that's just a narrative. That's not facts. The true facts is that Esau has exploited and dealt treacherously with every nation he's encountered. All right. This is Isaiah 33:1. Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled. And Esau is going to be known as a spoiler. In the kingdom, the world, the other nations are going to look at him and they're going to understand the history in its proper context, not this distorted worldview that Esau's put out in the world. That he's innocent, that everything he did was for the good of mankind. That narrative is going to be destroyed. And the other nations are going to look upon him and they're going to see him for who he actually is, man. Brothers have this saying, amongst each other that, Esau can't be in general population, when you think about captivity, because the other nations, he dealt treacherously with them. And we know all the other nations are going to go into captivity under the nation of Israel, according to prophecy, for 1,000 years. And then the other nations are going to be able to go back into their lands. But Esau, Edom as a nation of people are going to be destroyed. But even in that captivity, that 1,000 years of captivity, the other nations, he dealt treacherously with them too. So they're going to have something against Esau. Even though they're all in captivity together, they're going to look at him like, is this the man? All right, because he dealt treacherously with every nation he's encountered. Every nation the so-called white man encountered, he took advantage of them and he dealt treacherously with them. Mainly the nation of Israel, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, continuing, it says, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. Because when you came over here, the Native Americans didn't deal treacherously with you. They dealt uprightly with you. And then you made treaties and broke every treaty you made with them. Come on, man. Continuing, it says, when thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. All right. And that's meat, meaning good, because that's how you balance out the equation. Sorry doesn't fix the problem. Esau won't even tell nations that he apologized for how he's done them and treated them. He tries to make every excuse under the book not to own up to his crimes. But even if he did give an apology, it's not sufficient. If somebody commits a murder in Esau's society, they can say sorry, but they still have to deal with the judgment if they're proven guilty. Likewise, Esau as a nation of people, they have sown, all right, and they're going to reap what they've sown as a nation of people. And part of that is their reputation, all right, because they've created a reputation based on lies, man. You're not helping people across the planet. You're not the nation that civilized the world. The world is a wilderness under you. You have certain places in the earth where people are able to live a certain type of lifestyle that the world has never seen before. But everybody else as a whole on the earth are living in a wilderness, man. All right, this is Jeremiah 49. And that's something that Esau is going to take on concerning his reputation as a nation of people, not just the elites. Because now the common Edomites are complaining about their elites. Y'all have a reputation that y'all share together. Just like us as Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in this society, you have those who have returned back to the Lord and returned back to our heritage as Israelites. And you have 2/3 of our people who refuse to accept us being Israelites. Yet we're all blanketed with the same reproach and shame. When we walk in a room, all other nations that see us automatically think about us in a negative light. We all share that, whether we identify ourselves as Israelites or not. In the kingdom of heaven, Esau, Edom as a nation of people, this is what they're going to be known as. You are Edomites. You're not white. All right. You're not righteous. You're not the nation that civilized the earth. All of those lies are going to be swept away. And Esau is going to be known for who he actually is, not who he's pretended to be, man. And that's going to be satisfying to see through the spirit. All right. This is Jeremiah 49:12. For thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. For I have sworn by myself, saith the Lord, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a cursed, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste. All right. So Basra goes into the capital city of Edom. All right. And one of those things, it says a desolation and a reproach. All right. Esau's going to have to bear that reproach. All right. The Lord's going to make him bear. All right. Matter of fact, let me jump up. This is Jeremiah 49:10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places. He shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. And now Esau's being exposed, beginning with our apostles and elders, for who he actually is, his biblical nationality. You know, and I was watching Apostle Tahar's video today, you know, dealing with, you know, Sakari and Captain Tazariak debating Edomites. That shit over with, man. It ain't nothing to talk about. You know, Esau, there's no point that Esau can argue to try to cover up his crimes anymore. He's been made bare by the Lord, man. That's why scripture talk about shaking the hand that they may go to the gates of the nobles. You know, Joe Six-Pack Edomites, they can't explain their way out of this situation. They can say that wasn't me, that was my forefathers. As a nation of people, y'all have to bear the same reputation. Just like we have to bear the same reputation as a nation of people. We're not exempt from that. And that's one of the most satisfying and comforting things through the spirit is that in the kingdom of heaven, the world is going to see things as it should be. Not how Esau's distorted reality to make people believe that he's the good guy. All the things that they say about Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, when you think about it, the black on black crime and, you know, the poverty, whatever the case may be, a lot of Jake's crimes be against each other. You know, we don't go to other nations and rob and spoil them as a nation. That's what Esau does. He's just organized wickedness. His wickedness is just highly organized on a governmental level. All the crimes Jake commit be against each other. You know, all them drive-bys and all of that get back gang and, you know, up in the skull and catching hats and catching bodies. That be Jake talking about doing shit to each other. Finesse, backdoor, all of that be Jake talking about doing shit to each other. Whereas Esau's reputation is doing that to other nations, even to himself, his own people. And in the kingdom, that's what he's going to be known as. Those lies that he's told in the earth where he's painting himself as the good guy, that shit coming to an end, man. All right, I'll end it with this. This is 2 Esdras 6:27. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth which hath been so long without fruit shall be declared. So, Lord willing, this was edifying with that. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yashar Allah, and a sincere salutation to all Yuakim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwat, who are believing this word in all truth, and in sincerity. Shalom.